Hey everyone, how are y'all doing? I'm going to do a follow-up to the video that I just made public, and I forgot something to mention to save time when you're making these PBR terrain paints. Something that's helped me speed the process up somewhat. If you've ever made a terrain paint, PBR terrain paint, then you'll know that it's got up to 15 slots that you can put textures in to make the ultimate PBR terrain paint. Problem is, if you make a new terrain paint and you go get your images, well, every time you click on the thing to get a new image, you have to go back to the root of .36 or whatever the current version is and re-navigate to levels, to your level, to maybe art, to terrain paints, to wherever you got your terrain paint saved. That takes time. And it shows all the places the dev maps have in there, so you kind of sort through to find yours. It's kind of just one of them nitpick things, I guess, that I'd rather not have to do that every single time. The good news is once you've made the texture and you go back to change something on it, if you decide to, it does at least remember the last place that it went to get the texture that's in there, just not when there's nothing in it. So if we go into the terrain painter, I said this was going to be a minute, I lied. It's going to probably be about more than that, about 5 minutes, if I hurry up. Terrain material library, right? You go into here and you make a new one. You make a new terrain paint. So we make a new one. We call it, I don't know, dirty dirt or something. I don't know, dirty dirt. And it's gonna be ground model. I don't know, dirt. How about that? Now we have to add the material before we can put anything in it. So once you add it and it appears over here, I'm sorry, save it and it appears over here, then you can add to it. Only then though. So as you can see here, we're in like the root of the .36. We have to go to levels. We got to pick our level that we're in, and then we got to navigate to the folder that's got the materials in it, and we say, "Oh wow, we made it here. We finally made it here." And you're happy you made it there, right? It took a while to navigate there, especially if you got other things going on and you're having trouble focusing on what you're doing. You can sometimes get lost in thought. Alright, so here we go. This is not the right image for that. I'm just showing you this real quick. Say you get this loaded. All you got to do is copy this one. And if you're going to do all 15 of these, which make it look the best, but I mean, you don't have to, but if you did, it's a lot of times you got to keep navigating to that same place. Would have been easier is if they did it like they did the asset browser, where if you have a regular material that you want to edit, you can easily come into here and grab the material and drag and drop. It makes so much more sense. You just drag and drop, drag and drop, drag and drop. That's all you gotta do. You can't do that this way. Unfortunately, when you're in the terrain material library, you can't drag and drop like that. It don't work. So what you can do is you can, if you know you're going to be doing all this, you can take and copy this to your clipboard. Paste it in every one of them. Just go ahead and just paste it in all of them. I know that don't go in all of them. You're just doing it to save time. Because by doing it like this, you're going to save yourself a lot of time. Just don't forget to get them all, or you'll have the wrong one where you don't want it. See, that's a lot of times to have to keep navigating back in there. Why they do that, I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I guess they like to work. I don't know. They like to work extra, maybe. Or it just wasn't something somebody thought of. I don't know. Or they don't make enough maps that it really matters that much. More like it. But we love making maps, and we don't like having to keep navigating. So you do this. So now when you say, okay, well, let me go and get the macro. Boom, you're right there. You're already there. All right, let me get the detail. Boom, you're already there. And it didn't take nearly as long to paste all these as it would have took to navigate back to it every single time. So that's all you do. And it's a lot easier to just fill them out that way. Alternatively, you could copy this to your clipboard, everything but the first slash. You don't want that one. And you don't want the name of the material. You just want the directory without the first slash. Then you can just paste that and press enter and then pick that and pick it. But you see, it didn't put me in the right place. Or did it? Art, terrains, No, it's one folder short of where it needs to be. Hold on. Maybe that's what you got to do. I forgot. No, you still got to do it. So my way is better than that way, but that way might save you some time too. But that's it. That's all this video is going to be on. Just to save you time to fill this stuff out. Now, if you decide later I want to change the material and you select that, well, it will take you back to where it's here now, what's here now. It's just when you make a new one that it's a hassle. And hopefully they'll get that fixed. I personally think what they ought to do, and this is only if you want to stay, you can watch this. I don't mind if you leave now. This is just something if maybe, I guess, one of the devs can't sleep good tonight and they need to watch something to help them fall asleep. They can watch this video. If they happen to catch it, to get a good night's rest, they can benefit from what I'm about to say. I think this will benefit everybody. I even put a comment in the suggestion thing, the suggestion box, or what do you call it? Ideas and suggestions. I actually posted it a few times, thinking maybe somebody will say, "That guy's a genius. Let's do that. That's going to really help a lot of people." Now, what colors? I don't know. I thought maybe green for like the base. The base color, green, because you know it's usually what you see. I think of the land you make. It's green grass. You know, green seems to be a good color. But see how you got base color, right? That tab that you can open, that opens up into base texture, macro texture, detail texture, all for base color. Well, you could have a new layer. I'm sorry, you could have a new color there that's not there, and use like the way it does overlay, where you can still see through it, but it tints it. Like say green for base color, and I did not take the time to make it very neat, as you can see. And then for say normal mapping, which is purple, you could have it be purple. Maybe for roughness you could do gray, like a medium shade of gray, but you could kind of use this purplish color that these things are known to look like for the normal mapping. Now, overlay is a little tricky. It's not always exactly what the thing shows it to be, so you might have to, you know, adjust it a little bit. That's good enough. And then you do the same thing with the others, the ambient occlusion, and you could do maybe make ambient occlusion white, and maybe make the height map say I don't know, brown or something, just a different color. That makes it so when you open these up, your eye quickly can go to where it needs to go, because I found that like what a lot of people do is they put the wrong one in the wrong one, because there's so much stuff to look at, it's easy to do it. Now you can go one step farther, and you can take and put for each one of these a different shade of gray. So they're all still green, but they're separated by grayscale for the base texture, macro, and detail. So the eyes have a little easier time getting to the one it needs to get to without having to skim over it all to get to it. You just see the color and you go. You see it and go. You could have a dark gray for this one, or dark black or something like that, and then the macro have a little lighter one, and even a lighter one for the base texture, which I cut off here with the other one. I'll fix that. Yeah, gray don't work very well. You'd have to do something a little different. You probably couldn't do overlay with that one. You'd need to do regular. They need to really do some art on it, really, to do it differently. You'd probably better do it something like this, where you actually got the solid color, but you got different color text that appear that are easier to distinguish. Because even as the overlay, it's hard to kind of make out sometimes what they are. It does kind of mess up the text a little bit. I don't know, make this one white. Shit, hold on. Maybe this one like a medium gray. And maybe the other one, that's not dark enough. And maybe the other one a little darker, but not completely black. That way you can still put the text as black and white and still see it in all of them. You'd use bold, by the way. This ain't bold. A font that's easy to see at that size would be ideal. And I think it'd help a lot of people, honestly, do this quicker. Not that 5,000 people are making maps, but the ones that do would probably greatly appreciate it. I would, and I know I would. I tried to figure out how to do this myself, and I was not able, but I did not include ChatGTP in my efforts. But I think I can. Now I know how to use it a lot better. I'll see if I can figure it out. Macro. And the other one would be detail. If you say, well, what colors would you use for the normals in those situations? It's the same color. You know, because your eyeball's seeing purple, that you're in the right place already. You just picked the right shade. And you may have to make this one lighter to see it better. You know what I mean? There's a combination that you can use where you can probably get away with one text color for all of these. But you'd have to balance it between those shades of gray, for example. You probably want to leave them gray because gray is like, you know, for all of them, and just have the colors to separate the normals, the height, roughness, ambient occlusion. I think that'd help a lot, because even when this is collapsed, it would be beneficial because you'd see it like this. God damn it. You'd highlight the whole thing, but I'm just going to leave that so you can see the name. But it would all be highlighted. It would all be different colors so you could easily distinguish the one that you're opening up. Maybe not gray for roughness. Maybe a different color entirely. I don't know, yellow or something. Just something different. And since you use gray for the others, you probably just do a completely different color altogether for the others. And I could use blue, I guess, would be better than using that ugly ass color. Maybe blue for the ambient occlusion or something. And, you know, if you really want to go the extra mile, make it so it's user-friendly to edit those. So if you don't want those colors, you can pick a different color entirely. I mean, that'd be my thoughts on it. And maybe somebody there sees it and says, yeah, that's all fine, but that's going to take time. Well, I understand that too. This is just a wish list kind of thing, you know? Just a wish list thing. So it makes it easier to, you know, you pick whatever colors you think would be best suited. I just threw something up here just to throw an example up. You pick what you want to pick and give the people the option to change it, you know, like you do all the other stuff that's in the user interface options. And like I said, if I could figure out where to do it, I would try to do it myself, but I don't know where that's at. But I'm going to try to look into it more. But anyway, that's it for this one. Hope you all have a good evening. We'll catch you all another day.